What's going on, everybody? My name is Jake, and I'm here to bring you the first episode of my new series called Spawn Lock. Spawn Lock is going to be a weekly series that I go through and talk about setting up a spawn trap and the game type domination on Modern Warfare 3. I'm going to be identifying different positions for team members, lines of sight, and enemy boundaries. Hopefully, throughout the life of the series, I'll be able to hit every single map in the game and any new DLC map that comes available. So, let's get started. As you can see, for the first episode, we are going to be doing it on the map Dome. Now, since Dome has a triangular domination layout, you technically can spawn trap the opposing team at any one of the 3 domination points. Personally, I like using the B spawn trap, so that's the one that we're going to use for this series. Now, the reason I like to use B is because there's only 2 exit points, as opposed to 3 like there are for the A domination point and the C domination point. Now, since there's only 2 exit points for B domination, this is going to allow us to set 3 guys up at each exit point, and we're going to be able to watch them and spawn trap them that way. Now, later on in the series, you're going to find out that that's not always going to be the case. It's not going to be a luxury to have 3 people or even 2 people, in some cases, guarding one line of sight. So, in this map, we're going to take full advantage of that. Before getting to the position of each player, I want to talk about B boundaries really quick and what we want to try to avoid doing. As you can imagine, on the A side, designated here with a circle, we don't want to go inside of the B building. And basically what I've kind of come up with is we don't want to go on that top step at all going into the B side building. And typically what happens if we do that is they're going to end up spawning at Dome, which is behind us, and that's something that we definitely do not want. Now, flipping over down to the C side, designated again with the yellow circle, we can see that that first Humvee there that's kind of on a diagonal is inside this boundary that we don't want to cross. The invisible line that we don't want to cross is basically that second Humvee, that corner, going over to the corner of the map before the steps going down into C. Again, if we get inside of that invisible boundary, what's going to end up happening is they're going to spawn over by C, or they're going to spawn by the Dome side entrance of C. So again, we don't want that to happen because they'll end up being behind us. Now that we have a basic understanding of the B boundaries, let's move into team positioning and responsibilities. Now, throughout the series, you're going to hear me talk about primary spots, or primary positions, and secondary or support positions. And basically what that means is a primary position, which I have designated here with the yellow circle, they're going to be the first person to see the enemy come out of their spawn. They're going to have the best line of sight and the best chance to kill the enemy. Now, this normally means that they're going to have the most kills out of everyone in your general area, but it also means that they're going to have the most deaths because they're the first ones that's seen. Now, a secondary position or a support position, these are considered cleanup guys. Now, their basic job is to get the leftovers that the primary person was either unable to get, or they're holding down the area if the primary person has died and waiting to get set back up. Because this person sees less action, they typically have a higher kill-death ratio. Now, looking at the map, we can tell that we have our 6-person team broken into 2 smaller 3-person teams. We have an A-side team and a C-side team. And what I want to do is I want to give you guys kind of a first-person view of what each person is going to be looking at and where they're going to be positioned. Starting with the primary position on A, what we're going to want to do is we want to set up right here on these steps. We want to keep our line of sight down on these doors because this is where they're going to be spawning. They actually start spawning back on the back side of the hallway or inside of B right next to the flag. And what we want to do is, like I said, we want to stay here. Again, we do not want to go up on top of the steps here. We want to sit right here on this. We can use this for cover if someone starts throwing grenades. If you have a trophy system, you can set that up right here in case someone throws grenades. But as you can see, you can fairly easily pick off quite a few individuals running out through there. Quick recommendation, using this spot, I would use Overkill and have a second primary weapon and use your first perk as Sleight of Hand, just because there's so many people coming out and you don't have any protection right here from anybody. You want to have your reload time faster, and you can switch over and have another primary weapon. So that's the first primary spot at A. Let's move over to the secondary support spot, or the first support spot we have here. First of all, you want to grab this, blow this thing up. The support person should be standing right here. Obviously, you're only going to be able to see this door. You can't really see the other door. But like I said, this is mop-up duty. This is cleanup duty. If the primary person dies, they have to come through this area. So if they hesitate for just a second, you can very easily pick them off and make the spot a pretty good spot. And finally, now moving over to our third and final position, I've found this spot right here to be a perfect spot. As you can see, if your primary person dies over there in that corner and your secondary support person dies over there, you can very easily see both sides of the trailer. It's not something that they're normally expecting. You can even lay right here. You can still see them pop up. You can see these guys before they can see you because of this little notch down here. You can see their legs. And normally when they're jumping, they can't really shoot. They're not really looking over in this area. You can kind of hug next to this wall and pick them off fairly easily. So that's it for the A side, and let's move over to the C side here. Now, moving over to the C team or the C side spawn trap, what we want to do is the primary support position is right here next to this tank. As you can see, you have a perfect line of sight coming down the stairs, which is the only way out for the guys in B on this side. You can see the window back over here, and if you back up a little bit, you can pick off the spot where everybody likes to camp right there. But you can see all those windows. You want to, like I said, you want to mainly stay hugged up against this window, or this tank. The marksman perk is amazing on this side. You'll see their name will pop up, and you can pick them off very, very easily. With the marksman perk, you can see inside that window, perfect. The only spot you can't see is just on the other side of this Humvee. As you can see, you can't even see really underneath it. If somebody makes it down those steps, they can regenerate their health right there. But the first support person, though, is positioned right here. As you can see, once this Humvee is blown up, they can see that entire area down there, and they can very easily pick them off. This position right here, also hugged against this wall, you can see the tops of their heads when they come out of the steps, or on the steps, coming down the steps, and you can also see down that window. And if you back up just a little bit, again, you can see that corner right there. Like I said, a lot of people like to camp in that spot, and it's very easy to pick them off from right here. Now, moving into the third and final position on this side is actually right here. Moving over in this little low area of the ground, you can see it's kind of the same position as a primary, but a little bit less line of sight, but you can see also on the other side of this Humvee where they are unable to. You can see the steps. You're kind of covered from this back window because the top of the Humvee kind of covers it, but you also have a very good line of sight right over here. You can duck down if someone's firing at you, they can't see you, and pop back up. You can even utilize this little air conditioning type unit thing, but be aware that there is a crate that people can jump on right back in this spot, and it's very difficult for you to see them. They can only see the top of your head, and they get a lot of headshots, so I wouldn't recommend sitting here the entire time. I would recommend coming down over here using this low spot to your advantage. Well, that's going to wrap up this first episode of Spawn Locked. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If something worked for you, if it didn't work for you, if you have a better spawn trap for me, try out. I think I got a couple guys that are willing to go through and test some things out for us. So, yeah, if it was helpful, feel free to give it a like or a favorite. And until next time, I'm going to leave you guys with basically me and a couple of buddies of mine nailing down this spawn trap and really trapping this team at B. And I'm pretty sure the entire game they were trapped. They weren't able to get out. I think they had one person go positive, and he was just basically sitting in the back and picking us off when he could see the tops of our heads. So until next time, guys, see ya.
Friendly assault drone inbound. Enemy UAV spotted. Just another day. Good job.